She just said something casual, innocent. You responded normally, and at that very moment, without you realizing it, you were just tested, evaluated, and possibly eliminated. There's a hidden code in women's conversations, phrases that seem simple but carry deep psychological tests. And 97% of men fail these tests because they don't know they exist. In the next 10 minutes, I'll reveal the 3 most common phrases women use to test your true reaction. Not what you say, but how your nervous system responds. This isn't cheap seduction theory. It's applied neuropsychology, behavioral biology, and knowledge most men will never have access to. My name is irrelevant. What matters is that you're about to understand dynamics that completely changed my results with women, and could change yours too. But before we begin, I need you to understand something crucial. Women don't do these tests out of malice. They do them because biologically they need to filter men quickly. Nature has programmed this into them for thousands of years. And you can complain about this reality, or master it. If you want to master it, subscribe now. Activate the bell, because this channel is dedicated to men who prefer brutal knowledge to comfortable illusion. Let me ask you a question. How many times have you left a date thinking it went well, and she simply disappeared? You reviewed the conversation in your mind. Everything seemed normal. You laughed, she was smiling. But then, silence. Here's what happened. You passed the verbal test but failed the biological test. See, the female brain operates on 2 simultaneous layers during romantic interactions. The conscious layer, which processes your words, your appearance, your social status, and the limbic layer, the primitive brain that evaluates signals of survival, genetic security, and reproductive value. Neuroscience studies show that the female limbic system is constantly scanning facial microexpressions, tone of voice, body language, and response time. All of this is processed in milliseconds before the conscious response. And here's the brutal problem. When a woman says these 3 specific phrases I'm about to reveal, she's not interested in your verbal response. She's measuring your autonomic response, the one you don't consciously control. She's observing if your pupils dilate, a sign of anxiety or excitement. If your breathing changes, it indicates nervousness. If you hesitate before speaking, it suggests insecurity. If your body leans forward, it demonstrates a need for approval. You can say the right words and still fail, because your body is betraying your true position in the sexual marketplace. Most men never learn this. They keep playing hard to get without knowing the rules. And then they wonder why women don't know what they want or choose the wrong guys. But you're here, so let's get started. First test phrase. Are you always this kind, funny, or calm? Sounds like a compliment, right? Wrong. It's a psychological trap. Here's what's really happening neurologically. She's testing whether you need her validation. Most men's instinctive response? Oh, I try to be, or not always, but it's easy with you. Fatal error. Why? Because these responses demonstrate 1. You're seeking approval. 2. You've adapted your behavior to impress her. 3. You place her value above your own. From an evolutionary perspective, this signals low reproductive value. High-value men don't modify their behavior to please. They simply are. The correct response is something that demonstrates this is your authentic nature, not a performance. Always, or that's just how I am short, undeveloped, without seeking further validation. Even better, a humorous deflection. You should see me when I wake up, showing that you don't take her compliment too seriously. Here's the biology behind it. When you don't react with excitement to her compliment, your prefrontal cortex is signaling emotional self-control. This activates her reward system, releasing dopamine associated with scarce resources. In plain English, you just became more desirable because you didn't demonstrate need. Remember this: emotional need is repellent. Self-sufficiency is magnetic. It always has been. It always will be. Second test sentence. I bet you do this with all the girls. This is a reverse jealousy test disguised as a playful accusation. She's assessing two things. One, whether you get defensive, low confidence. Two, whether you have options, value in the sexual marketplace. The weak answer? No, you're special. This communicates scarcity, desperation. The strong answer? Do what exactly? Calmly returning the question, forcing her to specify and explain her own test. Or even better, you'll have to find out. Maintaining mystery, demonstrating that you don't make excuses. Biologically, you're activating the uncertainty reward system in her brain. Studies show that moderate uncertainty increases dopamine release, making the interaction addictive. Third test sentence. Are you always this intense, direct, or confident? This is the ultimate test of congruence. She's checking whether you're authentic or performing masculinity. The trap? She uses a tone that seems critical. Most men immediately soften. Oh, sorry, I can be less. Huge mistake. You've just demonstrated that your personality is negotiable based on her opinion. This is biologically interpreted as a genetic weakness, an inability to maintain a frame under social pressure. The correct response is a calm confirmation. Yes, or why is it bothering you? No excuses, no apologies, no modifications. Here's the pattern you need to recognize in all of these tests. First, she presents an observation disguised as a casual question. Second, she measures your emotional response in 2 to 3 seconds. Third, she calibrates your sexual value based on that. These tests come in clusters. If you fail the first, she administers the second. If you fail 2, there probably won't be a third date, but there will be a third test to confirm that you're truly not what she's looking for. Is it brutal? Yes. Is it fair? Irrelevant. It's the biological reality of female sexual selection. And now you know. So here's the truth no one told you in school, the media, or generic relationship advice. Attraction is non-negotiable. It's not democratic. It's not fair. It's biological. And biology responds to cues, not to intentions, not to how nice you are, but to how your nervous system responds under pressure. The 3 sentences I just revealed are just the surface. There are 12 other documented tests that women apply subconsciously. Investment tests, boundary tests, social status tests, emotional availability tests. Each of them has specific response protocols based on evolutionary psychology and behavioral neuroscience. And I'll cover all of them on this channel, but only if you demonstrate your commitment to this advantage. So here's what you're going to do now. 1. Subscribe to this channel. It's not a requirement, it's a prerequisite to continue receiving this knowledge. 2. Comment below which of these 3 phrases you've heard and how you responded. I want to know if you passed or failed the test. Be honest with yourself. 3. Share this video with a friend who desperately needs this information. You know who you are. Here's the final ultimatum, and listen carefully. You have 2 options from this point on. Option A, ignore all of this. Return to automatic mode. Continue responding to women's tests with your instinctive reactions programmed by society. And keep wondering why she changed her mind or lost interest out of the blue. Option B, accept that there's a game being played, that you were playing without knowing the rules, and that now, for the first time, you have access to the manual. There is no option C. There is no middle ground. Biology doesn't wait. Opportunity doesn't wait. And that woman you want to impress, she's already testing the next candidate. The question isn't whether you'll be tested. The question is whether you'll finally pass. The knowledge is here. The choice is yours. See you in the next video, if you're ready.